Welcome back to Brands Hatch, where we turn our attention now to the Demon Tweaks Yokohama Locost Championship. As ever, a big grid and a heat was decided to decide the full starting order for the final. Now, eventually that went the way of Richard Jenkins, who beat James McAllister after a race-long battle by only 0.2 of a second. Nicholas Morley and Vicky Pickles also finished within 1 second of the race winner. Since the last time we saw these cars at Brands Hatch, we've been to Anglesey. Tom Collar won the first of 2 races there from Scott Mittal. Alistair Garrett, though, making his first appearance of the season, won the second at Anglesey, but it's Mittal that leads the championship, coming into this, the 7th round of the season.
And it's Alistair Garrett on pole position for this one, with Scott Mittal alongside him, Sean Stafford and Paul Bryant on the second row, and Matt Cherrington and David Black on row 3. We're on board with Jason Gibbons. He is starting down on row 15, but he only started 10th on the grid in the heat, so he had a troubled heat, and it'll be interesting to watch him come back up through the order. We're on board with Matt Cherrington then on row 3 as the 5-second board is held aloft. The lights come on here at Brands Hatch, and this low-cost final will soon be underway, creeping a little bit, but away they go, and it looks like it's a good solid start from Matt Cherrington. That's Sean Stafford. He's going to try and squeeze past on the run down into Paddock Hill Bend, but it's Alistair Garrett who takes the lead on the way down into the first corner here at Brands Hatch. They all, sideways there for Sean Stafford. She's spinning across the circuit. Fortunately, she goes off on the infield, isn't collected by anyone, but that's a real disappointment after starting 3rd on the grid. She's now right down at the back of the order as they swarm up to Druids for the first time.
And already down to Graham Hill Bend. There you can see the car of number 4, Tom Collar, driver very much in contention for the championship lead. A great drive to win at Anglesey in difficult conditions. Had his car set up perfectly and really looked for the grip. Here's Matt Cherrington. He told us a little bit about the low costs before the previous meeting here at Brands Hatch. He runs TMC Motorsport. He's lost a little bit of ground at the start, I fancy, and is out of that rear group, which is led by Alistair Garrett from Scott Mittal at the end of lap 1. But here, Jack, is what's happened at the start.
Yep, we're looking about 6th position. There is the very sideways car of Sean Stafford. A big lock up behind to try and avoid her, but as I say, she fortunately ends up on the infield, just cold tyres, I'd imagine, on the first corner here at Brands Hatch. Here come the leaders, though, across the line, side by side.
Yeah, Sean Stafford in one of the TMC Motorsport cars run by Matt Cherrington, but it was almost 3 abreast there, and coming around the outside was David Black in the 28 car to get into the lead of the race. Does he? Yes, he does. The man who's been the runner-up on so many occasions so far this season grabs the lead of the race, but will he hold on to it? Because Alistair Garrett in the number 3 car, 3rd in the championship last year, is really badgering him hard. Tom Collar is in the group as well, as is Scott Mittal, and actually it's about an 11 or 12 car pack for the lead.
It's amazing, isn't it, as they sweep through Graham Hill Bend. It is then David Black who's hanging on to the lead from Alistair Garrett. You'll notice Garrett's front right wheel cover, I think, is a different colour to the rest of his car. That's after an off in qualifying. He had to basically borrow one off another one of the low-cost drivers, but he is tucked right up behind David Black. And as we saw last time these guys were at Brands Hatch, the slipstreaming is so crucial, and maybe we'll see it on board now with Matt Cherrington as he gets in the slipstream now of the car in front. He will pull to the outside on the run down to Graham Hill, Paddock Hill Bend, and that was Richard Jenkins he was trying to get past. Garrett is back in the lead. Black is trying to go around the outside as well. It's difficult to keep track of what's going on, Ian.
Yeah, the other car involved in this lead pack is the 40 car of Paul Bryant. Now, he started on the outside of row 2. Back on board with Matt Cherrington. He's trying to regain some of that lost ground. And as you say, he was doing battle as he goes all over the grass there with our heat winner Richard Jenkins a few rounds ago. There's Scott Mittal, championship leader then, the school teacher from the south of England, leading the championship coming into this round. The other drivers in contention, David Black and Tom Collar, side by side. That's Tom Collar there with, I think, Paul Bryant. Yes, it is Bryant on the inside, but he's lost out there. Tom Collar goes 3rd.
Making their way through clearways. Collar just in front of Bryant as they exit out onto, a little bit running over the grass there. It looked like the lead two have made a bit of a gap. We're on board with Jason Gibbons. He is battling his way up through the order now as he gets a good run out of the final corner at Clearways. Looks like he is trying to make his way past, I think that's Gary Corkhill that he's just got past on the inside. But here come the leaders then, Black, and they've all been caught up, haven't they? Because I was just saying that Black and Garrett pulled away, but as soon as I say it, Cherrington is right on their tail again as they head over the start-finish straight and down to Paddock Hill Bend once more. Let's see what the slipstreaming is like. Black going very defensive, out dives Alistair Garrett to the outside, and through he goes.
Alistair Garrett became the 4th different winner this season at Anglesey. Lee Bankhurst, Scott Mittel and Tom Collar have preceded him in victory lane this year. He's got the lead back here now. David Black is challenging him, so's Tom Collar and Paul Bryant and Richard Jenkins, Scott Mittel and Matt Cherrington, all involved. On board with Cherrington we go with that filter sticking up there in front. You can see, looked like Scott Mittel ran a little bit wide there in the Italian tricolour coloured car. Out of Graham Hill Bend he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 10 cars in the lead battle here, and it was Alex von Erheim who started on the 5th row of the grid at the back of that group. He's usually a man to watch.
On board with Jason Gibbons as he makes his way out of Graham Hill Bend. As I said earlier, he's continuing his charge up the order, trying to look up the inside there. Not quite going to be able to squeeze through as he makes his way through the left-hander at Surtees. Then the right-hander McLaren into the tighter right-hander at Clearways. But we're back with this 10-way battle for the lead. There is Richard Jenkins, the heat winner, closely followed by our current third-place man in the championship, Tom Collar, as they sweep out through Clark.
It's noticeable that none of the other heat front runners, McAllister, Morley and Pickles, are right involved at the front of this battle. Richard Jenkins, probably a driver who wouldn't have expected to find himself in the heat. Once again, the cars fan out into Paddock Hill Bend, and there is the 88 car of Nicholas Morley. We're just mentioning him, and he is there within the top 10, certainly, but not quite with the top 5, which now seem to have broken away a little bit, and a new leader as well.
And it is Richard Jenkins, the winner of the heat, is now leading the final. Incredible stuff as he makes his way through Druids. So we've now got 2 packs of 5 pretty much dropping down into Graham Hill Bend. It looked as though Alistair Garrett was going pretty quickly through there. Here we have further back in the order, sweeping through shot. That looks like it's the number 26 car of Ian Mittel, isn't it?
Absolutely, so battles raging all the way down the order. We have tended to focus a little bit on the lead battle, but there is good racing going on further down the line as well. Matt Cherrington then back on board with him, a driver who won several races during the course of last season, was in championship contention indeed, but couldn't complete the year due to various technical dramas. He is going to make up 1 place, 2 places into Paddock Hill Bend, but look, who's that coming around the outside? It looks like Scott Mittel. No, it's not. It's the green wing that confused me. That's Alistair Garrett.
Incredible stuff. Black is now hanging on the inside to try and get back past Cherrington as they make their way into Druids. The 2 packs of 5 are now 1 pack of 10 once more. Oh, very sideways there. That's Richard Jenkins in the silver machine, really struggling to hang on to it, and now he's got Tom Collar attacking. That's 3 wide into Graham Hill Bend. Surely that's not going to go. I think there was a bit of contact in there, but they all somehow scramble their way through, and now exactly the same is going to happen into Surtees.
Well, Cherrington's the one who's really come through strongly, hasn't he, in the last few moments. And I must remember to ask him next time I see him, why the extra long mud guards on that car? Very different to most of them there. I suppose it might give you some protection if you make contact with another driver wheel to wheel, I guess. He is not going to do that now. He's going to go side by side and take the lead of the race. As he round the outside he goes. Matt Cherrington, does he get the lead away from Alistair Garrett? Well, he's got all 4 wheels in front, so is David Black. Garrett goes down to 3rd.
It's all about being in the lead at the right time. If you're in the lead going onto the final lap, you're probably not going to win. Dave Black is trying to get into the lead now at the inside of Cherrington. Cherrington closes the door. He's a very seasoned racer. Now we're on board with Jason Gibbons. He is still in battles throughout the order. Fairly lonely battles, only 2 cars involved, and which isn't the norm in Locost, as you've been able to see today. We've had a swarm of Locost going around this circuit. Cherrington has pulled out a car length or 2.
Well, he has. Now, could this break be crucial? I think you will find that the rest of the cars will work together to get back on terms with Matt Cherrington, who comes up and over the line once more. So it's Cherrington now in the lead. Black is 2nd, and then in 3rd place it is Tom Collar now, isn't it, I think, in the number 4 car. Garrett in the next batch of cars. So we've got 3 for the lead now, really, because they have wheeled Matt Cherrington back in again. 2 wheels over the curb, that's allowed, that's okay at Paddock Hill Bend, but 4 wheels is when you need to start worrying. Through on the inside, there goes Tom Collar. He goes 2nd, I think. Does he grab the lead as well? Matt Cherrington, 2 wheels on the curb on the outside of Druids. I think he's held, but he's lost it. He's lost it.
He had 2 wheels on the curb, but he had 2 wheels on the grass going into Graham Hill, and that has spun him around. That's dropped dropped him down to 4th, and now 7th or 8th because he's lost a lot of momentum. That's going to drop him right down to the back end of the top 10. Here's the replay. He goes over to the right-hand side, and where there's a little kink left, that's just going to catch him out. Yeah, 2 wheels on the grass, round he goes.
Absolutely right, so big disappointment there for Matt Cherrington. I noticed as the cars came through there, Scott Mittell is someone who's dropped to the back end of the top 10 really. He's our championship leader, not really in form of Brands Hatch this weekend. So it's Collar now leading, 2nd is Black, 3rd is Garrett, who's back in touch with the top 2. On board we go with Cherrington, he's trying to recover here. Not sure exactly what position he's in at the moment though.
No, absolutely, and he'll be gutted to spin with only 4 minutes or so left of this race. There is Scott Mittell. Oh, very sideways moment in front, and he just about avoids him. Matt Cherrington, that's going to force Scott Mittell wide and push him even further down the order than he's fallen already.
I think they clout that mudguard that was sitting in the middle of the track for a lap or so. Back with the leaders then. It's an 18-minute plus 1 lap race. It is breathless action here. It is Collar leading, Black 2nd, and Black tries to come off the corner and try and get alongside Tom Collar, but he loses ground instead. And that allows Garrett to start to challenge. On board with Cherrington once again. He's got a few yards of clear track in front of him before he has another car to pass, the TMC Motorsport man, and not quite sure who that is. He's made that ground up anyway. It is the number 6 car of Richard Jenkins, isn't it?
Yeah, and Mittell making a move behind as well, so Cherrington on a charge back up the order, but with no slipstream, he's going to have no way to catch up with the cars in front pretty much as he makes his way around Druids. And in fact, fighting Black back there is Richard Jenkins up the inside at Druids. And Cherrington fancies another look into Graham Hill Bend. He's not going to make it through though as they head out onto the Cooper Straight again.
Yeah, but they've dropped quite a long way back from the leaders, and it is now 2 leaders effectively, because we've got Tom Collar in the lead of this race, Alistair Garrett behind him. We're on the final lap of this race. Through Clearways, through Clark Curve they go. Then it looks as if Tom Collar is going to make it his 3rd win of the season here, but Alistair Garrett still right in the tow. Oh, he pulls out now. Can he get alongside? They are side by side. Checkered flag goes out, and the arm is in the air for Alistair Garrett, who has just snatched it right at the end by 1/100th of a second.
Incredible stuff. The rest of the field come across the line as one. It'll take the computer a few moments to sort that out, as here across the line finally comes Matt Cherrington after the disappointment of his race, and Scott Mittell is the crucial man who didn't score well today.
No, he came across the line in 7th place, and there is the confirmation of that. Garrett taking the win then from Tom Collar. David Black not 2nd today, he was 3rd instead. Great comeback from Matt Cherrington to get up to 4th place, and Alex von Erheim did make up some ground and finished in 6th. Vicky Pickles and James McAllister started in the heats, and they were 9th and 10th, ahead of Lynn Fallowen and James Pinkerton. Sean Stafford just coming home in 14th.
Right, Alistair, another win for you in what was an epic race, really.
What a race, what a race. That was probably the closest, definitely the closest race that I've won. It was a foot in it, that's it. So, yeah, really fantastic. I'd just like to say a big thanks to Procomp Motorsport for sorting the car over the winter. They've done a fantastic job. And a big thanks to these 2 guys for giving me such a great fight. It was... it doesn't get much closer than that.
After all of that, Tom